You are Locked On Knicks POSTCAST, part of Locked On Sports New York on the Locked On Podcast Network. Your team every day.
All right, Game 3 began much like Games 1 and 2 did. Of course, a huge Celtics lead. Unfortunately, in Game 3, a little bit different. Games 1 and 2 involved a comeback. Game 3, not so much. Celtics handled the Knicks easily at the Garden. 115-93, the final score. The Celtics led by double figures from the 4-minute mark of the first quarter, the rest of the way. Now Boston back in the series. Knicks still lead it 2-1. Hello, everyone. I'm Jay Berman. If you're a New Yorker, you might recognize my work. If not, welcome aboard. Spent more than 2 decades in the biz, everything from TV to web to radio. Glad to have you. Please follow me on X as well, at Jay Berman, Jayberman. Welcome to the Locked On Knicks postcast, both on the Locked On Sports New York YouTube channel and the Locked On Knicks podcast feed. The postcast gives you a place to hang out after every single Knicks game. We're part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every single day. Here we go.
This is what you'll be talking about.
Alrighty, so the Celtics live or die by the 3. We saw that in the very first 2 games. They died by the 3. Today they live, and they live strong. Right out of the gates, Boston 4 for their first 4 from 3. And considering the way things went in games 1 and 2, a sight for sore eyes for the Celtics. They also hit 6 of their first 7. And folks, they hit 50% of their threes, 20 for 40. And again, they led by double figures late first, and never got into single digits the rest of the way. Knicks only scored 20 points in the first quarter, and they were down by 16 right out of the gates. And again, down double figures after 1, and that was the story the rest of the way. Jason Tatum, a big reason why the Celtics are back in the series. 5 3-pointers for him. In fact, every Celtic starter had at least 2 threes, and then there was the 5 threes off the bench for Payton Pritchard. What a pain in the neck he was. Pritchard plays 35 minutes, 8 of 16 from the floor, 5 of 10 from 3. He had 23 points to lead all Boston scorers. And again, he was a pest today. 115-93. What's pretty amazing is the Knicks have now played 4 games at home in these playoffs. They've lost 3 of them. They went 1 and 2 at the Garden against the Pistons, and they're now 0 for 1 against the Celtics in the semifinal round. So again, Knicks just 1 and 3 at home. Not to mention Boston still with single-digit losses away from home. They have just 8 losses between the regular season and the playoffs away from Boston. So again, they have the Knicks right where they want them. Knicks still have the lead, though. Of course, up 2-1, but the 3-point defense has got to get better. We told you about the numbers for Boston coming in to Game 3. 25 3-pointers made, 100 taken. That means they missed 75 3-pointers through the first 2 games. They missed 20 more today. However, they hit 20 of them. As we said, 5 for Tatum, 3 for Al Horford, who was a beast as well, a couple for Drew Holiday and Jalen Brown. Derek White even had 3, and then you add in the 5 from Payton Pritchard, and they were just amazing from 3. As for the Knicks, the exact opposite. In fact, and this is possibly where you can draw the line in the sand as far as wins and losses in specifically Game 3. Knicks hit just 5 3-pointers. 5 of 25. That's 20%. So the Knicks scored 15 points from beyond the arc. The Celtics scored 60. So they outscored him from 3, 60-15. And right then and there tells you all you need to know about exactly what's happening in Game 3. The Celtics, as we said, made their first 4 threes and 6 of their first 7 to jump out to the double-digit lead. And again, they never looked back. The Celtics were 12 for 19 from 3 in the first half. In fact, they were also 15 of 17 from the line. They shot nearly 49% from the floor. And again, the Celtics now back in the series at 2-1. The Knicks deficit at the half, by the way, was 25. It's the largest deficit at the half for the Knicks in postseason franchise history. They've never trailed by 25 at the break of any playoff game in the history of the franchise. So again, puts things into perspective today. It was a rough day, and you could tell the crowd really wanted to erupt, and also tells you all you need to know about the game. The loudest cheers were before the game started, during the national anthem and the warm-ups and the introductions, the lineup introductions. And again, it was super loud until the game started, when the Celtics started hitting threes, and then that was it, heading early to the exits. As for the numbers for the Knicks, 27 for Jalen Brunson. Brunson was 9 of 21 from the floor. Meanwhile, Cat, 21 points, 15 rebounds, but just 5 of 18 from the floor. Bridges had 12. How about OG? In 31 minutes, which was the least amount of minutes played by any Knicks starter, he had 2 points. Not only that, he was a minus 25, was OG, who, of course, is a great defender. Those plus-minus numbers from the Knicks starters are woeful. OG minus 25, Josh Hart minus 23, minus 19 each for Mikal Bridges and Cat, and then Brunson was minus 16. By contrast, how about some Celtics numbers? Plus 29 for both Derek White and Jalen Brown. That is amazing. Plus 23 for Jason Tatum. So again, 3 players above 20 in the in the plus minus category. Again, 19 for Jalen Brown. Derek White had 17. And again, they hit 23 3-pointers. Now, Mitchell Robinson is going to miss free throws. So you take the free throw numbers with a grain of salt. But to be fair, Mitchell Robinson plays, and that's part of the game. And the Knicks have been terrible from the free throw line. More of the same tonight. They took 35 free throws, did the Knicks. They missed 11 more free throws. And considering the way things went in the first and second games, despite all the free throw misses, this is going to come back to haunt the Knicks. You know it. You absolutely know it. As soon as we get a close game, it's Hack-a-Mitch, which is a discussion for another day. It's lame. It's not against the rules. It's just, for lack of a better term, lame. And I can't stand seeing it, but it's not new. It's not illegal. And until they legislate it out of the game, it's going to be there. By the way, the Celtics have now won 40 games, 40, when they hit at least 23 pointers. They're 40-3 when they hit 20 or more 3-pointers. That includes, obviously, the regular season and the postseason. And again, because of it, they're now 30. They were 33-8 during the regular season. And again, the road team doing well. The road team has won all 3 games so far in this semifinal round. Not only that, in the Eastern Conference semis, the road team has won all 7 games now. Amazing. Amazing stuff as the road team continues to prosper throughout the NBA playoffs. All right, 115.93, as we said, we've got some business to take care of. When we return, we'll go through the numbers one more time. And again, it was ugly from 3 for the Knicks and from the free throw line. We'll do it all coming up next. All right, NBA fans, you know what time it is. Playoff season means big performances and even bigger rewards. DoorDash is bringing the heat with a slam dunk deal for Dash Pass members during the 25 NBA playoffs. It's called They Swoosh and You Score. Anytime a player drops 50 or more points in a playoff game, members score a free 3-piece crispy tenders combo from Wingstop the very next day. Just place an order of $20 or more. Use the code WINGSTOP50 at checkout, and that combo is yours. Crispy, delicious, and totally free. Offer valid noon to midnight the day after the game. Terms apply. What's your go-to move after an epic game? Are you ordering wings and reliving the highlights? Imagine being rewarded with free food just because someone went off for 50. So here's the play. Sign up for Dash Pass to unlock this and more exclusive deals all season long. When any player scores 50 or more in a playoff game, Dash Pass members can grab a free 3-piece crispy tenders combo from Wingstop the next day with a $20 plus order of code WINGS. And the code, of course, is Wingstop50. Dash Pass, your door to more savings, more flavor, and more ways to win. Terms apply. All right, up next is Fire TV. Did you know your Fire TV is also an Xbox? Turn any TV into your gaming and equipment hub with Fire TV Stick 4K devices. No console required. Just grab your paired controller, subscribe or sign into Xbox Game Pass Ultimate with EA Play, which is included, and you're ready to play. Dive into hundreds of premium titles. How about EA Sports College Football 25? And all the way to Call of Duty Black Ops 6. It's easy when you stream your favorite shows as well. It's gaming made simple, and it's all on your Fire TV. Play high-quality Xbox games at a fraction of the cost of a console. Already have a console? Well, a Fire TV Stick 4K device, more affordable and easier to travel with, allowing you to take your games wherever you plug in. Head to Amazon.com/Fire TV Locked On to get started. Xbox Game Pass Ultimate subscription and compatible controller required. Available on select devices, including Fire TV Stick 4K second generation, Fire TV Stick 4K Max first and second generation, and Fire TV Cube third generation. All right. Unfortunately, we got to do this.
This is the Locked On Player of the Game.
We tend to pick the good guys, the hometown team, in this case, the Knicks. But in this case, it is not going to require the choice of a Knick because got to give it to Payton Pritchard, who, as we said, in 35 minutes off the bench, 8 of 16 from the floor for 23 points, 5 3-pointers, and it seemed like every single one of them was a dagger. Again, he had 23 points off the bench, led all Boston scores with those 23, was a +8, had 4 rebounds, 2 assists, a steal, 0 turnovers. In fact, the Celtics only had 8 turnovers. The Knicks had 11. So again, a disparity there as well. As for the minutes, Jalen Brunson played 40. Mikal Bridges played 38. The only other player at 40 was the Celtics' Jason Tatum, who played exactly 40 minutes. All right, as we said, 115-93. As for the rest of the series, Game 4 will be Monday at the Garden. We'll see if the Knicks can bounce back. That is a 7:30 tip time. Remember, the NBA draft lottery will be before that game. Monday night at 7 o'clock is the draft lottery. And of course, from a Knicks perspective, we're not worried about that as of yet. But again, this game will follow the draft lottery on ESPN at 7:30, again with the Knicks up 2-1. Wednesday will be game number 5 in Boston. Still don't have a tip time for that. Game number 6, Friday, back at Madison Square Garden. That's an 8 o'clock start. Then if we need a game 7, will be Monday, May 19th, back in Boston, also an 8 o'clock start. So that is the rest of the schedule. All right, thanks for making Locked On Sports New York your first listen today. For your second listen, check out Locked On NBA Game Night, every game, every night until an NBA champion is crowned. Get local analysis on a national scale. Find NBA Game Night on Locked On NBA on YouTube or wherever you listen to podcasts. All right, before we get out of here, also want to mention our partners in crime over at Locked On Knicks. Gavin Shaw and Alex Wolf. Again, they handle all this stuff at Locked On Knicks. So follow, subscribe, and enjoy. They really are the best. All right, 115-93. Celtics back in the series. The Knicks were never really in this one. They trailed 36-20 after 1 and were never within single digits the rest of the game. They trailed by double digits for essentially 3.5 quarters. As much as the crowd tried to will the Knicks to a victory or at least to a comeback, didn't happen. Very unlike these semifinal round Knicks, who, of course, had great comebacks in games 1 and 2. As we said, game 3 will be Monday night, 7:30 tip time, Madison Square Garden. Again, the road team has won all 3 games so far in the series. We'll see if things change for game 4 Monday night. Until then, have a great Saturday night. So long.